Call one, call them all. This Saturday, the iconic Moses Mabhida Stadium will once again host another electrifying football fixture. It's the Netbank Cup Final between Soweto Giants, Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. Hello and welcome to Soccer Betting News. I'm your host Desh, and with me in studio today is African football expert Mogale Sathekge.
Thank you so much, Deshi, for welcoming me again, and welcome to our fans also.
Mo, let's jump straight into it then. There's no hiding from the fact that this has been a turbulent season for Kaizer Chiefs. They currently occupy a bottom half spot in the Betway Premiership. Not to mention, they've succumbed to a league double to arch rivals Orlando Pirates as well as Mamelodi Sundowns. Does Nabi stay or does he go?
I mean, it's his first season. Give a guy the break. How many players did he bring into the new ship of Orlando Pirates? I mean, let's just give him one season, which is this season. I would take it. It was a learning curve. And then let's see what he has for us in store next season. So he will have plenty of time to look at the current crop of squad that he has and who to reshuffle. And there's a couple of players that I know their contracts are coming to an end come June. The likes of Yusuf Mart and so forth. So I think he needs to look at those type of players and see how can he try and balance and beef up his squad so that he's not going to experience the very same thing that he's experiencing, losing game in, game out to teams like Pirates, Sundowns, Staleys and whatever. I mean, all these teams that you counted, they've done a double on him this season. That's not entirely the Kaizer Chiefs culture or way of losing the Soweto Derby double or against Sundowns double in one season. I mean, they could have at least won one of those leagues games against Pirates and Sundowns, but they lost all the 6 points in those games. So this is a great opportunity for him to do a good reflection of the current players that he has, and also he must have an eye for talent. I mean, he has to. I'm thinking that the Kaizer Chiefs scouts, they have been helping him throughout the entire seasons to look at the other teams that are playing and also checking what other players that Chiefs can get from the CAF Champions League. I mean, Wydad, young Africans, Pyramids of Sea, Al Ahly and whatever, they have like great players that can actually, I mean, if they were approached by Chiefs or Pirates, they would be much happier to play in the PSL like the way we have current South African players playing in the Egyptian League. There is Tembinko Seloch, there is Cassius Mailula. You know, there's just a couple of players in those type of, there is Skudu Makudubela, playing in Africa, one of the leagues in Africa. So, I mean, why not? Why not Chiefs and Pirates pounce at those type of players? So Nabi has got a chance to turn this whole mess into a fortune next season.
All right. Well, looking ahead to the final, Wandile Duba is available for selection after serving his one-match suspension. The question on everybody's lips is, will he get on the score sheet and help Amakosi avenge the Soweto Derby defeat as they lift the coveted Netbank Cup trophy?
The thing is that you are going to play with a coach who has won the Netbank Cup twice already. This guy is going for winning this cup for the third time. So he clearly knows the ins and out of how to win this tournament and defend it. So look, as much as I know that Chiefs will prepare thoroughly and so forth, it's not going to be easy. They are going to meet a very wounded and hungry Orlando Pirates team. I mean, wounded as if Pirates lost the semi-final of the CAF Champions League against Pyramids, their second leg. So they want something tangible. I know they already have something in their trophy cabinet, which is the MTN 8, but they would still want to add something more especially because Riveria is on his way out this season. It's his final season. So the man wants to be the Bucks fans' favorite, regardless of the fact that he is going. So Look, man, I don't know. It's not going to be easy with the return of Duba, whether they are going to change their defense, replace the likes of Abu Kwinika with Miguel Inacio or whatever. It's still going to be the same. Pirates are still going to harass you. They are still going to bring players like Nkota. They are still going to bring Captain Emma 2000, right, Tomara Fetsa, Mufukeng to the party. You know, those type of players, when they are in the field, anything can happen when you're playing against the mighty Buccaneers. You get my point. And we just saw Pirates played yesterday. They won 2-1 here in Durban against Abafana West and the Golden Arrows. They won 2-1. Look, the player who has been criticized for the past 3 games raised his hand and said, "Coach, I'm here, I'm fit. I will make you proud come Saturday next week against Chiefs." Tito Masangani was a different player yesterday. He opened the scoring for Orlando Pirates yesterday. And then Eros equalized. Mabasa came in as a sub and he was like, "Oh, okay, no one wants to take the responsibility." Then the sniper did whatever. That's what they call him. So he did whatever that he's famous of doing, always making sure that he scores. And you must look at the history of certain players when they play against certain teams. You need to check how many goals does Mabasa have against Golden Arrows this season or the previous season. Now you're going to go into Chiefs. All the Pirates players, they love scoring against Vuma, Rele Mufokeng, Nkot, Mabasa, Mahopa. All of them, they want to score against the Chiefs goalkeeper. So, look, as much as I would like to believe that Chiefs will surprise us, I see a surprise. I see no surprise at all from them. Because Pirates is going to surprise them.
Well, look, on that note, Chiefs are missing several key first-team players. You look at the likes of Bradley Cross, who's ruled out of this one, totally recovering from injury. Msimanga as well injured, Frostler injured. Do you think there's enough reinforcements in that backline?
Look, in terms of the backline there, I think with Dotley being there, it gives Chiefs a certain kind of element. And also when Simango came back and played, you could see that at least at the back there's communication and so forth. But when they played against Pirates this past weekend in the derby, I didn't see any communication and so forth. And it becomes a mess. You should see the goal that Rele Mufokeng scored. I mean, a defender, Hoto just stand in front of a defender for Rele Mufokeng to finish the ball. I mean, defenders should find their way around those type of tricky situations, especially in the box. But the likes of Kwinika and whoever, they are not. He's not a reactive player. He's too much rough also. The startup are too much. He pushes too much. And look, man, the way Mahopa is able to position himself against defenders who can read his moves and so forth, he becomes very dangerous as part of the Pirates team. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about Mufokeng. I'm not going to talk about Nkota, because those young boys, I mean, at that age, we threw them into the deep end in Africa. I mean, what did they do? I mean, they are part of the top leading goal scorer charts in the CAF Champions League. You're talking about a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old. I mean, then you think they're going to play against Chiefs now, against Miguel and Kwinika. You think they're going to respect them? Get out of here. I see. It's not happening.
Well, look, at the previous Soweto Derby, of course, Kaizer Chiefs were still reeling from their loss. However, after the full-time whistle blew, Nabi addressed the media and said that it was a case of personal errors. Do you believe that?
I mean, there's too much. I believe in that. And mostly I can say it starts with one player. It starts with one within themselves to say, you know what, I play for Chiefs. I play for one of the biggest teams in Africa. I play for one of the biggest teams in South Africa. I mean, the Soweto Derby is one of the biggest derbies and most watched derbies in the world. You can't be going into that game not having the confidence as a player or as an individual to say there's no room for errors and whatever. I saw Munib Joseph's comment about Mdu Shabalala, and people were like, no, Munipe, what? He was like, you know, Mdu at the end of the day, he's still young, yes, we understand that, but he has to have some sense of responsibility. You can't always play to entertain and plead the fence. He needs to start making decisions to show that he is growing growing as a player and everything. But you can see 2 goals that led to Pirates goals. They came from Mdu Shabalala's 2 interceptions. The ball was intercepted twice, and the team was punished. Whereby the other ball, the second goal by Hoto's goal, it was a counter-attack for Chiefs, Mahopa's equalizer. It was a counter-attack for Chiefs. He had Sereno on the side, but he opted to choose on the person that they were closing by. Pirates closed that ball, took that ball and attacked, and it became a goal on the other end. You get my point? So there are certain Chiefs players, I mean, the likes of Abu Yusuf Mardi, he starts to, that guy needs to sit down, have a cup of coffee before the derby, and really think what it means to wear the Chiefs badge.
I see.
Because I don't see him really coming to the party in all of the games. Look, I can tell you, you must always, the camera always have this, the guys who are taking, the camera people during the derby, they always have this thing of cropping Mofokeng's face after every handshake of the big games and stuff. You must look at how that boy looks. He looks like a Hulk. He looks like he doesn't smile. He goes like, you can see that already the boy, the mind is there. And you see by his first touch that this boy is going to work his magic in this game. You get my point? So Chiefs players, there are certain Chiefs players that needs to have that thing in themselves. Mdu Shabalala, he's got a chance of rescuing Chiefs on a countless of times. And then again, another player, the only player that I think is mentally and physically fit. Even this week, I checked some of the snippets when Chiefs was going into the training sections. Lilepo was not happy that they lost against Pirates. You get my point? He was the only player who was not talking and not laughing. You get my point? Because you can see that mentally, he's ahead of the other players. The mindset is already against the Netbank Cup final game that they are going to play against Pirates on Saturday. Another player is like Duba. He's young and whatever, but you can feel, you can see his reactions, his movements. You can see and feel his anger whenever he's on the field of play that this guy really wants to do something for Chiefs. But as for the rest, they need to convince me otherwise. I can't label certain players at Pirates. They carry Pirates all the time. We know Hoto always giving 1,100% effort whenever Pirates played. I mean, Mbogazi just got into the mix. But you can see he has already developed the mentality of a champion. You get my point? So Chiefs needs their players to have that type of mentality and that belief. And I think maybe they stand a chance. But at this point, it's 85 and 15 to Chiefs.
Well, look, let's leave the results from the Nedbank Cup Final aside just for a moment, because if Orlando Pirates finish second in the Betway Premiership, the CAF Confederations Cup spot will go to Kaizer Chiefs. Do you think they are ready for continental football?
Ready in terms of the players, no, but ready in terms of the type of coach that they have, yes.
Okay.
Nabi's from Wydad, if I'm not mistaken. The man played continental football a lot, and then I think he will be very much excited to get back into that mix or that stage again, just to prove his worth and everything. But again, it lies within him. He has to do the right thing during the transfer window. He has to buy players that he thinks will actually help him to become whatever best coach that he think he is, that he always tells us that he knows that he's capable. He has played a couple of big finals. He knows that he can deliver and so forth. So it lies upon him for Chiefs to change whatever that they are going through this season into the new season. So Chiefs got that spot. From players' point of view, they are not ready. But from coach's point of view, they are ready. And from management's point of view, they are ready. They just need to do the right thing during the transfer window, buy a mixture of players that can boost the current squad with few players in the squad that are raising their hands every game to say we want to help the team with the new ones, and then let's see what they will get from that.
Well, looking at their opponents, Orlando Pirates, have they shown what they truly can do this season? I mean, currently second place in the Betway Premiership. We've seen them in CAF Champions League achieving a semi-final spot against Pyramids, not to mention a number of youth products who have come through the door. I mean, is Jose Riveiro the best Pirates manager ever?
Yes, I can say that without any fear of favor, but there's a but. We don't know what would have happened if Rudolf Kroll, after winning the treble.
Okay.
We don't know what would have happened the other season if Rudolf Kroll was to continue, because in 2010 he had a good team. 2011, that's when the likes of your Benedict Muso McCarthy came in and everything. You get my point? Abu Chansa, they came back. We don't know what Rudolf Kroll could have cooked with that team or whatever that happened. You get my point? So, but at this present moment, as things stays, we can say Jose Riveiro is the best ever Pirates team, and no coach at Pirates, I can assure you, no coach of Pirates have ever assembled more than 6 players from the MDC team or from the development team, and they come in and blend so well in the first team. I mean, you can tell, man. Look at Selepe, look at Mbogazi, look at Rile, look at
Ndlozi as well.
Look at Ndlozi, look at Nkota. I mean, really, even now the number 3 goalkeeper at Pirates comes from the MDC team. He was promoted from the MDC team to come and be the 3rd best goalkeeper at Pirates. I mean, there is like a young crop of boys that have been given a chance by Riveiro. Guys, we need to give credit where it's due. Riveiro did his utmost best at Pirates, winning 5. This is going to be his 6th trophy.
Yeah. Speaking of 5 and 6, currently he is level with Stuart Baxter on 5 Soweto Derby wins respectively. Can he make it 6 and go outright? He's
going to surpass him this weekend. Pirates is going to more Chiefs up until I don't know what's going to happen. But Chiefs this weekend, they won't even see they won't even see what happened, because I don't want to say much about it. People will think that maybe I'm a Pirates, whatever. But look, in terms of the mentality and the readiness of the players, I'm telling you, Pirates might even be 2-3-0 ahead in this game before halftime. I foresee that happening, whereby a Soweto Derby final will end with a margin of 4 goals or something, because of how the aura at Pirates and everything. And the game that they won yesterday was just the nail into they were just putting the nail into the coffin. It's a morale booster. The boys are happy. They are already in Durban. They are just walking around now. They played yesterday at Mabhida, where the stadium now doesn't look that well, but yesterday they played. So they've seen the pitch. They've had the time to evaluate the pitch yesterday when they were playing Eros yesterday. So I think now they kind of know what to do, the do-nots, the do's and whatever, the reactions and stuff. So I think Pirates is 500% prepared for this game, and I'm telling you, Riveiro is going to lift the Netbank Cup trophy for the 3rd time in a row.
Well, that's where we're going to leave it for today. It's been a pleasure unpacking all things Nedbank Cup Final related with you. Well, football fans, if you enjoyed this, please let us know in the comments, as well as liking and subscribing to our channel. From all of us in studio, thanks and goodbye.
It's a show bra baba.
For more soccer betting tips and previews, get the latest edition of Soccer Betting News for only 10 Rand at your nearest Hollywood Bets branch or newsagent.